What's jumping out at us? I think the most obvious thing is the fact that yesterday, Nicki Minaj, who's in the middle of an extended crash out of sorts on social media, decided to train her sights upon the one and only a member of the No Jumper cinematic universe, extended universe. He's only been on this podcast once. Mackwop. Nicki Minaj actually spoke out against him. It would be nice if we could hit the link right now. Josh is furiously texting. I don't know if he's penning a post on his burner account or what he's got going on, but
oh my God.
Here's Mackwop.
Update me. This internet shit crazy. I'm your blood. Hey, Nicki, relax. Relax. Or you get put in the blender like your boy did. Uh-oh. She gotta relax. She gotta relax.
Okay, so first things, let's work on our definition of put in the blender. Being put in the blender is when someone puts you in a situation in which what decision you should make is very complicated and confusing, or where you really don't have a good decision point. Like both of your options are kind of bad. You're stuck in a blender. You know, like you can't get out. If you stay in here, you're going to die.
That's not what that means.
Okay, you break it down.
So getting put in the blender, I believe he was referring to Drake. He obviously got into the verbal back and forth with Kendrick, and Kendrick put him in the blender. It's like a West Coast slang. So pretty much mean he got up on a beat. So he basically telling her, hey, chill out for you get put in the blender. Because TDE got artists. She's going at TDE. She's going at SZA. Hey, Kendrick might throw you a couple bars and put you in the blender like he did your boy. She tried to spin it on some weird, this is a threat and this is a, like, man, chill out with all that. You tagging the FBI and the CIA, clout chasing. Like, man, if you don't knock it off.
I agree. It's definitely not a physical threat. It's not a threat upon her in general. He's basically just saying, because I think, like, if you extend out the getting put in the blender, like, this is poker slang as well. And we're basically, like, when you say somebody's put in the blender, it basically means they don't know what the to do. That they just don't really have, like, a good path to take from here, which I think he's kind of saying that about Drake as well, is that Drake, obviously still one of the biggest rappers in the world, but he's in a weird position. It's a tough spot for him. He's got to be very considerate about every song that he drops, etc. And he's basically saying that by Nicki going at TDE / PG Lang, whatever, Kendrick's whole camp, that she's putting herself in a bad position. Now, Nicki has really gotten to the point where she's perceiving everything as being an attack upon her, and she chose to intentionally misinterpret what Mackwop was saying. It would be fun for me to get on here and act like Mackwop was a piece of shit and that she's correct, and he needs, I even said on my story that I think we need to get Mackwop deported. I was just kidding. But can we go to the Nicki tweet where she actually, the one we were on before?
Nicki on her.
This isn't it.
Shout out to Mackwop.
She on her Kanye West tip.
Nicki.
That's the same thing I said.
All right.
That's
So
the same
scroll
thing.
up.
She tweaking.
God damn, you were just on the right one.
She
What
in
are
her
you
Meek
doing?
Mill bag.
She
Exit
on
out.
powder or something.
Okay.
Yeah,
a
now
lot of
she
people,
for sure
a lot of
Twitter
people
fans
back to the
going
right.
crazy.
A lot of women be
God damn it,
playing
Josh. Click the
victim after
fucking
they start
tab.
the shit.
Scroll up.
Sure.
They play
Exactly.
Up. That's down. Up. She wrote, is this a threat at FBI? So she immediately takes the most opaque, non-threatening statement that Mackwop could have possibly made and went not only like, oh, I'm going to contact the local police department, she went full on at FBI. This in no way requires the attention of the FBI, but Nicki is at the point where she feels like the highest level of federal enforcement needs to be called in about Mackwop streaming to 400 people in his living room and saying something that realistically is not in any way threatening at all. I'm sorry, if you're still a barb, you need to get off of the plane. This woman is losing it. I understand she's one of the most important hip-hop figures of all time, but now she is the equivalent of a bat crazy crackhead lady standing in the park yelling at the birds. She's lost her mind. Barbs,
Talk that shit.
you've got better alternatives. You could be a SZA fan. You could be a Doechii fan. You could be a Cardi B fan. This isn't 2010. There's a lot of different options out there for you, and I think you at the very least you need to consider your options, because this is not the prophet that she's pretending to be. This is a lunatic.
It's interesting you brought up the Barbs. I feel like she has a much less firm grasp on her fan base than she did before. But I feel like if this had been a few years ago and there was a Nicki Minaj tweet coming at Mackwop sideways, they would have already been like leaked his address and been on his helmet super tough.
And apparently they are filling up the comments on his Instagram, but I think that's the furthest that they're willing to go at this point. If this was 2012, for sure his house would already be a smoldering pile of rubble.
She trying to get his channel deleted and all type of shit. Talking about what platform is he streaming on. We need to get the videos removed or else. So they is going crazy in the comments.
Baby daddy Kenneth got her off that good powder.
Oof.
Yeah. Sure.
Ain't bro,
I be thinking she on drugs for real. That's the whole rumor. Y'all think
that's always been the rumor. I never felt so confident.
Look. I don't know the woman. I seen her one time before the All-Star game. I want to say this was probably like 2011. But the first time I ever thought she was on drugs, I was watching Chicago little Ink show, and the boy Ryan was tatting her up, and just how she was looking in there like she was like off something. I could be wrong, but I mean, like, you Southside Jamaica Queens, you street, your dude's supposed to be street. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is you hollering about the FBI for?
Could she be doing all this, like wilding out but speaking some truth? Because you know she been going at Jay, she been going at a lot of different people. Is she trying to mix it to where people think she crazy, but if you can find the truth in the craziness, then you get it? Because, you know, a lot of people, when they come out as celebrities, start telling the truth, they come after you like they did Kanye, or they try to come eventually assassinate your ass for revealing too much information.
Yeah, because she's making a lot of heavy claims in that Rock Nation lawsuit that's going on with Tidal. She's saying Jay finessed her out some money. And she's saying that, you know, they make people disappear. She throwing that out there like, yeah, she's like, hey, the reason you don't see none of these major outlets speaking on Rock Nation is because behind the scenes, they know what's going on. So if you look, ain't nobody really talking about it. Like Joe Budden, he touched on it slightly, but then they like, we need the facts before we can analyze it. Like, when do you need the facts on the pie? Y'all analyze every motherfucking thing. Y'all talk about everything with zero facts.
Your whole career over with.
Exactly.
They know how Jay-Z played the slide bag or set that lawyer on your ass quick.
And Gilly the Kid told everybody, he like, look, I don't go to the Rock Nation brunches. I'm not going to tell you why, but if you know type. So it's like, it's been whispers for years about Rock Nation. It's other artists that's suing them right now. They got a lot of YouTube channels allegedly taken down.
It's like some bitch. Like he played Jakey with the buddy, or they try to like paint him like in a Diddy like.
Yeah, well,
she was saying, right? she was saying low key a little bit of both, but she was saying that like you said, they played her for the bread. Like she supposed to make a deal, she didn't get X amount of money. Jay reneged on it or something
because they sold Tidal.
Wait a second,
exactly. Jay sold Tidal. She had a 3% stake in the company. She did all the promotion. She did everything on her end of the bargain. And she said when, you know, they sold the company, she didn't get a dime. She said she didn't make a dime off of Tidal at all. And they said, well, you never signed the paperwork.
They gave her like $1 million.
They offered her $1 million.
They offered her $1 million and she didn't want to take it. Yeah. But also, like, it's funny because when y'all seen the Tidal roll out, there was like 20 artists that was on stage at the time. It was like Alicia Keys, Daft Punk, everybody, you know what I'm saying, had that same contract that Nicki Minaj did, but you don't see anybody else jumping out there like how she is, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's deeper than the money. I think all this is just still coming back from the Super Bowl with Wayne, and she feel like Jay-Z and them slighting Young Money and everything. Yeah. So I feel like it's more than just the money situation, because we haven't heard any other artists come
have you heard Rock Nation lose?
They don't lose.
So that not too many people gonna speak up against them.
They're a force to be reckoned with. They're the one. They're like the boogeyman in the rap industry. The same way people used to be scared to talk about Suge Knight. Right. They're scared to talk about Rock Nation, but for very different reasons. They're not going to shoot you.
So
they're just going to systematically shut down your entire career. And a lot of people too will say that they really, in a lot of ways, control the media, because so many people that are in positions in the media have basically been put there by Jay-Z. Now, obviously, someone like us, someone like Academics, he's very vocal about Rock Nation. I don't think they have a relationship with somebody like a Vlad. But in terms of like the old guard of people in media, you see Joe Budden being terrified to say about Rock Nation. You see Somebody like Nori's never going to go against Jay-Z. Charlemagne. I mean, he's got a lot of reinforcements in the media that can kind of make it harder for stories that look negative about Rock Nation to spread terribly.
They know Jay move like the mob. He got real power in his back pocket, so he ain't gonna really say nothing. He just gonna push buttons on you. And I think a lot of them, they understand that, so they scared to go against it. But right now, he ain't really sent nothing against Nicki allegations yet. So
but this one is a little stronger than everybody else. This ain't just Nicki Minaj. You got Drake, who probably feel a way about Jay-Z too. Then you got Wayne, who feel a way. So
but they not saying nothing. She the only one vocalizing.
100%, but behind the scenes, you can
they
tell
acting
they
quietly. Yeah.
They with her on this one. So
well, she's not the only one.
Though, like, what's up with that bread?
She's not the only one. She's just the only one getting the attention. There's a lot of people who've been speaking up for years. They just don't have the platform to make the type of noise that she's making on Twitter right now. And I'm shocked by Joe Budden because him and Jay-Z, when they was both rappers, he used to go at Jay.
Yeah,
and he was big Mr. Rage Against the Machine.
For a long time
many
now,
moves.
But, you know, he used to be on the opposite end of the spectrum, looking at the position he's in now as selling out. But now that he's in that seat, he done exactly what he used to rap against.
But I think Jay-Z's very happy to be in a relationship with somebody like Joe Budden, where he's obviously in an employee's place, where it's like you have to make the big boss man happy, and if you don't, then you're not going to get any kind of FaceTime with this dude at all. And Joe Budden, in his own right, he realizes that he's lucky to get any kind of FaceTime with Jay-Z, that he's lucky to get any of the opportunities that come with being cool with somebody like him. So I think, you know, everybody in the game, in the rap game, it's really crazy like how terrified everybody is to say anything negative about Jay-Z. And it kind of all extends from the fact that he was such an elite rapper and everybody worshiped him. But now we're so many years removed from him really being a consistent presence as a rapper. But meanwhile, he just has managed to maintain that level of respect. And notably, it's not like the way it is with somebody like Jay Prince, where the boogeyman stories are basically like, oh, you're not gonna wake up tomorrow if you play with Jay Prince. But which I'm not saying that that's actually the case. But when it comes to Jay-Z, it's more of just like industry.
Well, you
fear.
remember DMX when Jay was the president of Def Jam? He was saying stuff like this.
Yeah.
About when he was at Def Jam, about his albums not being able to come out, and Jay-Z over artists, and everybody was looking at X like, man, you kind of hating. Fast forward now, Nicki saying some of the same. Not saying it's true. It's just, you know,
all this is allegedly too, because 50 done been on Jay-Z before. Dame been coming out. They paint Dame is crazy.
Yeah, but see,
even Beans and the rest of them been coming out about it.
Yeah, but see, I like how you make the comparisons. But see, back then, I could kind of see it with DMX and them, because that competitive nature, like in New York, who was the king of New York? You know what I'm saying? Jay was trying to hold the title, and then, you know, X came in going crazy. You know what I'm saying? They said these dudes didn't even have battles to where X said that he beat him in a battle rap.
He did.
He did.
You know
It was on tape too.
You feel me? And stuff like that.
So 3 swipes across your windpipe or something like that.
So all like stuff like this, even when Nas came full circle around to where he was in position, like, okay, y'all won these battle raps. Now I'm y'all boss at Def Jam now. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and also just to like contextualize it properly, but when DMX was starting to make those claims and Jay had that position at Def Jam, it was after like DMX's peak of his run. So it's not like, kind of had a different context. Also, Nicki talking about anybody alluding to any allegations of a S.A. nature is throwing boulders in a moissanite house, if we're being honest. I mean, she seems to co-sign that. Her own family members, her man, all got them same type of charges. So.
Yeah, but they were saying they
definitely got them. Yeah, for sure. Her man and brother both got sex charges.
That's what I'm saying. So
for sure.
They were saying what?
Nah, they were saying allegedly like they used Jay to shut down all the Colin Kaepernick stuff to get that pass with the NFL and a lot of different things. Even going back to the DMX thing, it was like basically if we make an agreement on something and one of us get in the door and then you backdoor me after that, that was DMX whole thing. So they've been saying he been the backdoor king. Allegedly.
Well, she's saying that the title thing is like, that's small fish in a big pond. Like she said, come back to this tweet a year from now, title is going to be the least of their worries. She trying to allege that he even got Lil Wayne locked up when Wayne was at his peak and he got that gun case in New York. All this is on her Twitter. She's like, hashtag Jay-Z. Like he said, hashtag he got Colin Kaepernick out the league. He backdoored him with the NFL.
You from New York, you know y'all got hip hop police.
She's straight snitching about everything.
That's where they were invented. That's the invention.
But she went on there and said today, she said, well, shit, Jay-Z cool with Desiree Perez snitching, so what's wrong with my snitching?
She said, "I'm ready to tell it all."
Rock Nation
All
be
right, look.
snitching, and he's co-signed it.
Hey,
To be fair, the CEO of Rock, Desiree Perez, can get away with a lot more stuff if she has a snitching thing from back in the day versus you being one of the most famous women in the world, arguably the greatest female rapper of all time, going straight to snitching to the feds on Twitter about Mackwop. I'm going to be real with you. Mackwop is not at a level, no offense, Mackwop, but you should not even be tweeting about Mackwop in the first place. Never mind alerting the FBI to his presence on the internet. You're doing a lot more for him by doing that. Like somebody like Nicki, you expect her to not acknowledge nearly anyone, even like, you know, somebody like me or academics. Like very rarely, or if ever, has she ever tweeted about most of the people in media, because it's just generally viewed as like not good to like gas them up and give them exactly what they want. What do you think Mackwop wants? He wants you talking about him. He wants to be involved in this because apparently Punch ain't gonna say shit. Mackwop, he's happy to get involved.
I think he's shocked that she responded, if I'm being honest.
I think we all are, honestly.
Yeah.
Bro,
Shout out
to Mac.
Shout out to Mac, because that's what
Shout out to
vibe
him,
for
yeah,
him.
sure.
Yeah.
But she, if you follow her Twitter, she usually every now and then lash out and just be like roasting fans occasionally who be talking shit about her. So it's not really too far outside of the scope of her normal
And
actions,
it was the
though.
fans who brought it to her attention anyway. They kept tagging her in the Mackwop shit, so she just responded to it. Because mad fans were sending her the Mackwop clips.
And
anyway.
Mackwop seemed shocked over the whole thing. Like, damn, this internet shit crazy, and I'm going viral.
Shout out to
I would
Mackwop.
be
Let's go, Mackwop.
Hey, who was that Hispanic chick who she had tagged Nicki Minaj like, "Hey, send me
Rep
the
Luna.
info."
Who was that?
The Luna, yeah, I think that's her. Well, she was like, "We finna take this serious. We don't take threats lightly." Basically saying she finna try to get Mac
I'm
locked
assuming
up.
it's a politician. If it starts with a rep, it normally means Republican.
No, but okay, so this woman, Rep Luna, I forget what her full name is, but it's the same woman who, I believe she's a senator or whatever in Florida, and she recently, a couple months back, took interest in the Tory Lanez case. And it was pointed out by a lot of people that that absolutely does not fall under her jurisdiction. There's absolutely nothing that she would realistically be able to do about it. A lot of people were hypothesizing that she's probably just out for the clout. She wants to get some sort of support from the black community. So she's out here just sort of picking and choosing little causes to get behind in terms of like hip hop. So she looks at the Tory Lanez thing. She says, "Oh, this seems like a pretty popular thing. I'm going to get behind him. And in addition to this one, oh, Nicki Minaj is tweeting at me. Maybe I can just hop in on this one as well." I don't think that realistically she's like, what's she going to do to Mackwop? She's going to get him locked up for saying, "Don't get put in a blender on Twitch."
So she
Who
on
the
some
fuck cares?
She on some Tony Busby shit then.
I think she's
Yeah.
just being an
Ambulance chasing pretty
opportunist,
much.
man.
Man, FBI said, "What the f is Nicki snorting?"
Yeah, the FBI is gonna laugh at you if you make contact with them and you say, "Hey, this guy said that I'm gonna get put in the blender." They're gonna pull up Urban Dictionary and they're gonna say that doesn't mean anything.
She tried to say get put in the blender meant get what happened to Tory Lanez, because she connected the dots like, oh, he's talking about Tory Lanez getting stabbed up. That's what he meant by put in the blender. She's trying to connect those dots.
I mean, you can. Her dude supposed to be a hood dude, and letting her talk like that.
Kenneth, if you don't get her ass off that keyboard,
That nigga enjoying the fruits of her labor. But cause you can use blender for anything. A boxer could put you in a blender. So she's
Exactly,
running
yeah.
with everything.